Now, it's absolutely fair to say that the Taylormade P700 range of irons has been a raging success, which also means this is going to be one heck of a video. Let's do it, and let's do it now. Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel, make sure you consider hitting that subscribe button. I've got loads of exclusive, great, fun, awesome golf related content, well I think it is anyway, coming for you guys, and I really don't want you to miss it. Put the thumbs up if you enjoy this video, and as always I want you to comment below. What are you looking forward to most about 2019? Be it in your golf, be it in your personal life. Let's try and keep it golf, shall we? For me, I'm looking forward to seeing these bad boys, the Taylormade P760 irons. They look absolutely wonderful. They're going to split some opinions, but the technology in these, well, they've basically taken the best out of all of last year's or this year's range of irons and put it into these ones. You may have seen Rory, you may have seen Jason Day on their Instagram stories this week, giving you a bit of a teaser on these clubs. So let's get more in depth about what they're all about. The Taylormade P760 iron is a progressive, forged, better players iron, offering players what Taylormade are claiming, everything that you would want through a progressive set of irons. We have speed foam in the long irons, 4-7 iron. We have seen that before in the P790 set, and then in the lower irons it is progressively taken out. So the 8 iron down to gap wedge, there is no speed foam, but that helps you with that distance control. If you remember in the past with my Taylormade P790 review, one of my big problems was that sometimes when you hit the shots, it will keep going and going and going. Now we shouldn't get that because of the progressive insertion of the speed foam, not just smashed into every single iron. As you can see with the iron, it has a stunning, sleek look. It looks very small, it looks very blade-like from address, which personally I really like. I think it looks fantastic. On the back of the club, we've almost got like a George Foreman grill effect. I think that looks pretty cool as well. It was about time we changed things up from just the sleek kind of sheet metal on the back. The whole idea behind Taylormade releasing these clubs is to take away the progressive sets where people will go P750, P770. Taylormade are wanting people to jump into one set of irons, the P760. You see how it sits right in the middle there. So they look fantastic. I can't wait to hit them. We're going to get on the range, we're going to get on the launch monitor. What's going into the shaping of these heads is turf interaction. Now we do hear that a lot with all the manufacturers nowadays, but if you do take a look at the leading edge of these golf clubs, we have chamfered away some of the leading edge, allowing a much cleaner entry into the turf, activating the club's bounce, and hopefully helping you with your ball striking. In another video, I am going to get on the course with these bad boys. Taylormade have sent me a half set, which I'm very grateful for. I get to test 4 iron down to wedge. Let's do it, and let's do it now. Okay, Taylormade P760, we're going to start with the pitching wedge. I do have these clubs in S300s, standard loft, standard lie angle, standard grey Taylormade Tour Velvet 360 grip. Looks wise, they're doing it for me. We're into a slight wind, it's a little bit cold. I'm not expecting massive numbers from these clubs. They are more of a true players club than the P790 was. Like I said earlier in the intro, they do sit between the P750 and the P770. Pitching wedge, I'm expecting around 130 yards. Looking down at the club, I used to play Taylormade clubs as a junior golfer, and it's sort of bringing me back to that. First swing of the day, 132 yards carry. Pretty happy with that. I do wish I'd have brought a towel out with me though. That's going to get annoying. A little bit left off the club face, but a nice trajectory. Wow, that feels great. Feels really good. Sound like Tony the Tiger. Great! Looks wise down at the ball, it does look as good as anything I've seen, to be fair. It looks like a player's club, but doesn't look like it's going to bite me on the ass if I make a bad golf swing. So I'm 4 shots in now, and I must say, very, very impressed with not only the feel, not only the strike, but the trajectory. The trajectory is very high, which for me I sometimes struggle with. I struggle to get the ball flighted. I feel like, I know we're only in the pitching wedge, but I could put these in the bag pretty much straight away. But I'm not going to, because I've only just changed my iron. Let's hit one more pitching wedge and then go up to the 8 iron. Oh wow. Oh, stop it, Taylormade, stop it! Okay guys, I'm not going to bore you with the numbers too much on the pitching wedges. We will take a look at the whole numbers at the end. Pitching wedge distance, what did I guess? 130? 131.4 average. We'll take that. Let's take a look at the 8 iron. So progressively now moving through the set, the 8 iron does look, once again, very, very pleasing to the eye. If I show you an image now of it down at the golf ball, it looks just as good as any player's iron I've personally ever used, but still looks like it's got that little bit of forgiveness. The top line isn't razor sharp, and I should be able to move it about if I want to, still with that little bit of forgiveness. Let's see how it goes. 8 iron, I'd be guessing around 150 hopefully. Let's find out. Very consistent numbers with these clubs, both very close to that number of 150 that I'm hoping for, and we are into what is now quite a strong wind as well. Oh, that just felt incredible. That's gone a long way, that's gone miles. Something which I'm really enjoying is the blade length of these irons. They're not absolutely tiny, they're not like a Taylormade MB would be, if you remember those clubs. They're not like a Taylormade P730 iron where the blade length is like a thumbnail, but they are just nice and sleek, they're nice and short. They're not like a Taylormade P790 where there's a lot of real estate left on the end. They look incredible. Oh, that's a pull. That was a poor golf swing. I am going to leave it in there in the numbers so you can see what they're like on miss hits. It's lost quite a lot of distance. It's about 15 yards short of the previous swing, which was the best swing of the morning so far. Oh, and then you make that swing. Wow. Okay guys, I am going to talk numbers with you on this one. This is the 8 iron. Let's take a look. So for me, distance wise, pretty much exactly where I'd be hoping. Into this wind, 142 carry, 150, we'll call it 151 total. Not terrible numbers at all. Ball speed 110, that is very impressive. You can see there, swing number 4 has brought the averages down. It was a terrible golf swing, but I want you to see how the irons cope on a bad swing. Spin rate's very, very, very low, and that's something I noticed with the pitching wedge as well. I'm going to keep my eye on that. All in all, so far, the irons feel great, they look great. I would have no problems putting especially these shorter irons in the bag. Now let's move on to... Let's have a bit of speed foam, shall we? 6 iron speed foam into a little bit of wind. I'm guessing around 170. Let's find out. So as we get into the longer irons now, it is starting to look that little bit bigger, that little bit more chunky. Not that that's a bad thing though. Oh, wow. Oh my God. Oh, that was a tiny bit heely as well. So I guessed 170. First swing with the 6 iron, tiny bit heely, arrow straight, and look at the number. I'm not bad at this guessing game, am I? Let's hit some more. Oh, that's just another one. This feels so powerful. This almost isn't fair. It's not. I think I might be dreaming. If you get a chance to go and try these irons, do yourself a favour. They're making me look and feel good at golf. That takes a lot of doing. That was toey, it's turning left for what the number's saying. That's another toey one. Bit of a commentator's curse there. I said the irons were making me look and feel good about myself, and I had 2 pretty poor strikes to finish off that round. However, you almost couldn't tell. So as you can probably tell there, the worst swing in the bunch was swing number 4. And interestingly, the spin rate goes up. So the spin rate goes up massively when I make the poorer swing. Those spin rates are very, very, very low, and I'm almost struggling to understand that. But distance-wise, 171 total. I was expecting 170. Very impressed, and when I made a good swing, look at number 2. Good swing's up there at 180. The dispersion front to back is a little bit worrying, but obviously, I mean, I can't tell you how badly I misstruck those other shots because they were pretty poor in all fairness. And shots number 2 and 3 were absolutely smashed, so there is always going to be a big difference there. You're never going to get a golf club, in my eyes, that masks a very poor strike as opposed to a very good strike. Trust me, I've tried, it can't happen. Let's take a look at the 4-iron. So as soon as we move on to the 4-iron, the sole is a little bit wider, it's a lot more prominent, it looks that little bit friendlier than a bladed 4-iron would look, but looking down at it, still looks nice. You've got the slightly bigger top edge, which is fine. I think if you're going into a market for a P760, you're not going to want that real thin butter knife 4-iron because it's just not for you. It's very interesting that McIlroy and Jason have started publicising these irons on Instagram. I'd be very interested to see if they put any of them in the bag. I can't see them putting the low irons in the bag because obviously they have their Raws and Day prototype irons. But something like this, something which is a more forgiving long iron, which is going to go a long way but still get the trajectory, could be of interest to them, I would have thought. And it's going to be of interest to me. Let's hit some shots. Oh! Oh, stop it. Oh. Toe-y. One of the huge factors with these clubs for me is the distance loss on off-centre hits. I'm not going to lie, with that one I nearly missed the grooves, but distance has dropped 15 yards from first shot to second shot. That's a big drop, isn't it? But although I must say, if I'm using the irons that I am using now, the JPX 919 Tour irons, distance drop would probably be more than that because that was a terrible strike. They're doing the best to hang in there for me with the distance, I can tell. Let's see if I can produce 3 nice swings to finish on and see if we can get this average above 200 yards. The first one was bang on it. So yeah, you know I like tinkering with golf clubs. Taylormade, can I place my order now? Okay guys, that is 5 shots hit with every single club. Let's have a roundup on the Taylormade P760 iron. Okay guys, so what do I think of the Taylormade P760 irons? Unfortunately there, the iPad let me down on the 3rd shot of the 4-iron, but that doesn't even matter to me. The shots were around 200 yards, a good shot just over, a bad shot just under. About a 10-15 yard gap for a missed strike, which I suppose is acceptable. Like I said in the video, you're not going to find an iron that gives you massive forgiveness on off-centre hits. It just doesn't happen unless you go to the higher end P790 or even CG Max, which I'm not going to do. All these irons went pretty much the distance that I would expect them to go. They do feel amazing, to be fair. They look great. If you're in the market for a set of progressive players irons where you want that bit of forgiveness on the long irons but you don't want it on the short irons, you want to be able to rely on that distance, absolutely these are going to be for you, and go and try them. Aesthetics wise, looking down at the irons, they all look pretty much like you would want a player's iron to look. The top line is a little bit thicker than I would like, but that is something that does offer you the forgiveness factor in the club, and I definitely need it looking at some of the strikes I've put on the golf clubs there. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed that review of the brand new Taylormade P760 irons. I am going to get out on the golf course and test these clubs where it matters. If you want to see that, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm James Robinson here at Huddersfield Golf Club. See you soon.